Hello, my name is Richard Claywell, and this is Litigation Speaks. I want to talk to you today about Revenue Ruling 5960. This was published by the Internal Revenue Service in 1959, numerical sequence number 60. So we have Revenue Ruling 5960. This is the definition for fair market value. It was designed primarily for estate and gift taxes here in the U.S., but it has evolved to the point where this is now recognized globally as the requirements for doing a business valuation. I happened to be at a conference, speaking at a conference in Frankfurt, Germany, a number of years ago. I went to an English-speaking course. It was put on by a PhD from Munich. And when he laid out their definition of fair market value, there was hardly any difference whatsoever between the German version of 5960 and the U.S. version of 5960. Now, saying that, valuations are done all over the world, and globally people are following Revenue Ruling 5960. When we do a business valuation, whether it's for divorce, adequacy of life insurance, buy-sell agreements, charitable contributions, employee stock ownership plans, family limited partnerships, or shareholder disputes, we follow Revenue Ruling 5960. So when you're looking at an expert report, you need to make sure that your expert and the opposing expert has followed Revenue Ruling 5960. There's some modifications that need to be made depending on the type of valuation that you're working on, but Revenue Ruling 5960 is the impetus for all valuations in the U.S. and actually all over the world. There are a number of treatises that discuss what needs to be done when you do a business valuation so that you follow what is considered to be generally accepted appraisal practices. This is the following of 5960 and the treatises and the professional standards that are out there that I need to follow as a business valuation expert. It's important for credibility. The credibility says, did we follow the standards that we're supposed to follow, and have we followed all the procedures we're supposed to follow? This actually is dictated by the Uniform Standards of Professional Appraisal Practice. So it's out there. We're supposed to be doing that, and we need to do that in all of our evaluations. The treatises and the standards that we need to follow are Revenue Ruling 5960. I suggest that you go out on the internet and look up Revenue Ruling 5960. This will give you a good foundation of what needs to be done with a business valuation. We have professional standards. There are different valuation organizations out there that set professional standards. There's really very little difference between all of the different valuation groups that are there, but there are some minor differences. You need to be aware of what your expert is supposed to be doing. If you are a member of American Society of Appraisers, you are required to follow USPAP, Uniform Standards of Professional Appraisal Practice. Some of the standards is a little bit different, not much, but they are out there. But I'm required as an accredited senior appraiser to follow that dictate. So take a look and see what you have. And there are published treatises. These go back for years and years and years. They're republished every 5, 7, 10 years, but there are a lot of them that are out there. This goes into detail on what it is we should do and how you should perform specific procedures when you're doing a business valuation. When you look at Revenue Ruling 5960, you'll see that it says here are 8 factors. These are factors that we need to consider. These 8 factors have evolved into the business valuation industry. What they consist of, the nature of I'm just going to read the list for you so I don't state them wrong. The nature of the business and the history of the enterprise from its inception. So we need to go back. When did you start? What's happened with it? If it's a corporation or a partnership, have there been any stock ownership changes? If it's a partnership, have there been any partnership changes out there? If there's any prior sales, what happens with the prior sales? And actually there's a technique that you can use which will take a prior sale and bring that forward to make it comparable to what you have for a sales transaction or hypothetical sale as of today. We want to look at the economic outlook and the general condition of the industry. So we have to take a look at that. These are items that you should not say, I'm not going to consider it for whatever reason. This is generally accepted appraisal practice that we do all of these. We want to look at the book value of the stock and the financial condition of the company. So there's a lot of work so we understand what's happening with the company from a financial standpoint. We want to look at the earnings capacity of the company. We look at the dividend paying capacity of the company, whether the enterprise has goodwill or any intangible assets. The sale of the stock and the size of the block to be valued. So are we valuing a controlling interest or are we valuing a minority interest? And the market price of the stocks engaged in the same or similar business. If we have a large enough company where we can find publicly traded data, we can use that. If not, we go to the market approach. If we can find comparable companies and look at actual sales transactions to determine what these types of companies sell for based upon a range of the revenues or the profitability that they have. What I'm going to do is discuss in detail these 8 factors and all the treatises that we have that are out there, and let the attorney know what they should expect from their business valuation expert. These will be in detail, give you a better idea of what you need to ask your expert about before you hire an expert. It will also allow you to recognize, and we've already done some of these, but it will allow you to recognize a business valuation report and see what's in there and tell if something has not been performed correctly. So this is where we're headed. I'm also going to interject war stories, if you want to call it that, but things that I've seen where other experts have done procedures and it's not correct, or it's not generally accepted accounting or generally accepted appraisal practice. So if you have any questions, send me an email, give me a call. Be more than glad to address those with you, and hope to see you in the future. Thank you.